Yeah, Jonathan, I mean, again, last night, really what stood out to me in totality, and this has been a theme that we've seen throughout all of the hearings, is the cowardice that's been demonstrated by Republicans right after that moment. I mean, that very night, 147 of them went back into that chamber and voted against certifying the election. They went back and tried to achieve the means of these violent domestic terrorist extremists. All the things that we heard, the audios of McCarthy and Republicans and huddling and all of these things that we saw, their real terror, their real fear, they would go back on that and reverse course days, weeks later. It's shocking to me to see that 180 that's been done by the Republican Party after those fearful moments. The President of the United States put a hit out on his vice president. What type of political party stands by a guy like that after something like that happens? And going forward, I think that one of the things that's been key, and the committee talked about this after the very first hearing, was that they expected, after putting on this skillful demonstration, this presentation, that the floodgates would open, that more people that were close to this situation would come forward and want to share their stories. They would want to unburden themselves of the knowledge that they have and give the committee testimony. And that's exactly what's happened ever since then. There's a lot more information that the committee's gotten that we haven't had a chance to even get into from a hearing standpoint. We remember at the end of the last hearing, they talked about the witness tampering that's happened even during this entire process. That's something that's still going to be talked about in the fall. So I think the committee's found the right formula. They found the right presentation. Kevin McCarthy's strategic blunder of not seating members of his choosing has allowed the committee to tell the story in an unobstructed way, without the nonsense, without the interruptions, without the conspiracy theories that we see Republicans oftentimes interject in committee proceedings. They're free of that, so they get to have a clear shot at clearly and definitively telling the story, and they're going to continue advancing that story into the fall. And again, I'll remind you, back in the Benghazi Republican days, they did not hesitate to hold hearings well into the fall of election time, having former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton testify for more than 11 hours sitting right there. There's a lot of things this committee can keep doing, and they're getting a lot of information.